Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Fun with Dumb. Today is a very special day for multiple reasons. It is election day, so I hope everybody out there is voting right now. We are not streaming this live for that one reason. We want everybody to vote, and there's record-breaking voting numbers, early voting numbers. I'm also joined by a co-host here all the way from New York City, Mikey Fresh, sounding like a b-boy from the 80s. Mikey Fresh.
What's up?
And of course I invited Mikey because he is a rap journalist, OG.
I'm a journal. I am a journal.
You know what I'm saying? He's written for Source, Vibe back in the day, currently at Genius. So you've transcended all rap media outlets and you're still current, bro. You do the verified interviews and all that.
So well.
Yeah. And I have an exciting new rap artist on the show today. So I invited my boy kind of do this interview with me because he has way more experience than me interviewing, like, you know, rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she's more than a rapper.
Well, yeah,
I'll say that.
Yeah. Everyone's more than a rapper now. Everyone's a fucking artist, a fucking graphic designer and music video director too. Okay, but we're here with Audrey Nuna.
Hello.
Hey, Audrey, how you doing?
I'm so good. How are you? I'm a little bit nervous because election day. You know, I got some nervous energy, but I'm good.
That's what's up. I mean, it makes sense. I'm nervous too.
That.
We're all nervous.
I just feel like there's so much riding on today.
Oh, 100%. There is a lot. I mean, you know, I think every election is important, but this one is definitely particularly important because we've had a crazy past 4 years.
Yeah.
Is this your first ever election?
This is the first one where I can vote. So
wow.
Like before it was like, oh, if we're fucked and it's not my fault, but like now it's like, oh, nah, you gotta do your part, you know.
Damn.
So yeah, otherwise I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I love your t-shirt. This
Thank
shit's
you.
so fire.
This is a black pink t-shirt I'm wearing right now. Of course, they did a collab with Lady Gaga, and it showed up on my IG feed as one of those advertisements. I was like, this one looks kind of tight. I
So it does, though.
And it has
a vintage
logo,
even like the worn shirt. Like,
so I copped it.
It makes me a little. It's kind of depressing how well Instagram knows me. Like I feel like Instagram knows what I'll bite.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There's some products like, you know, you could like turn off the ads that reoccur on your shit, and sometimes I just leave it on. I'm like, I'll come around to it.
Well, let me ask you both. Have you guys noticed that all of your ads have Asian people in them now? Like on Twitter and Instagram, I swear. Every ad I see now, there's like an Asian couple or a
are they reading your algorithms or what?
I don't know, man.
Oh my god.
Shady.
Well,
actually, I feel like that's true. I got a stomach bloating one this morning. That was this Asian woman, and I really I felt her on a spiritual level.
some of the products are very interesting.
I know.
I'm like this close to copping usually, you know.
The ad targeting is so real.
But we are here, Audrey Nuna. You didn't add Nuna until recently, right?
Yeah, I guess I think it's been like almost a year now.
Almost a year. You went by Audrey.
I'm trying to think. No, actually, it was March. So it was March.
Okay.
So it's been like.
Because when I heard about you, you were just Audrey, and I was curious. I'll tell you how I came across your stuff. Like, I have a group chat with like 7 other Asian dudes in various entertainment backgrounds.
Fire.
Guy in Genius.
Fire.
We have the GM at Complex, who's a Korean dude named Donnie. Shout out Donnie.
Nice.
Your Jay Kee Cho, who works at Alumni in New York. We have Jason, who's worked at 88 and other media companies. It's like an Illuminati of Asian cats in media outlets. And we share tons of exciting new artists that we fuck with, particularly Asians, you know, because we're like, oh, like, who's this Korean girl or who's this dude? It's interesting always to see, like, a minority in that world where we don't, you know, I don't know too many Korean American female artists, rap artists in America, you know. There's
For sure. I mean, I really don't, like, even me growing up, I didn't really see it much, so it's on my radar as well.
Yeah, I mean, really, can you name 5, Mikey? In the history of artists.
Female specifically?
Female Korean American.
Oh man, that
and this is
rap artists or just artists in general?
Not in Korea. There's artists in Korea, obviously.
My first one was gonna be Jessie, so that's
Jessie.
out.
Jessie,
is that out?
And she's Jersey too. But
Jessie,
I would say she's more of a Korean artist. I mean, she's an international artist, but you know what I mean. She does stuff in
Korea.
The 3 I would say top of my head would be you, would be Aquafina, would be Jessie, and right now maybe Rayon.
Rayon.
Those 4.
So you can't even make Survive.
I mean, yo, we gotta
try. We tried.
We gotta
We
shout out El Gambino.
El Gambino. She's an OG. You might not.
I don't know.
Shout out to El Gambino.
But
Sick.
yeah. So let me. You're 21 years old.
Yes.
21.
I'm 21. I turned 21 in quarantine. It was the most depressing shit ever. I got blasted by myself. Because, you know, I'm legal now. So that was the whole thing. Like, I drank with my sister, but she's way heavier tolerance than I do.
Yeah.
So she was just, like, pre-gaming. And I'm already, like, gone. That was my 21st.
This is interesting. Turning 21 during quarantine. Of course, I haven't talked to anybody who've gone through that because I just don't have a huge crew of 21-year-olds in my circle. But so you're in quarantine. You're celebrating. There's like a little birthday amongst friends, or
Yeah, I did like a little Zoom thing. It was so corny, and that was really it was in the thick of quarantine. Like, you're scared to go outside.
This is like the worst time to
you're
have a
actually
birthday.
scared.
I feel for anybody in their 20s because this is just like, damn, there's no real celebration.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be.
I'm
gonna
celebrate it later. Like,
Yeah.
when I'm like 27 and it's actually fine to go
Right,
out.
right. But you've
I
been
mean,
busy, and
yes.
I feel like you're kind of in the beginning stages of going like really hard in your career with like working on your first album, your debut
Right.
album, and everything. Like, does this circumstance in particular kind of help that cause like your focus into that? You think it would be different in any way if all this stuff wasn't happening around the world?
The biggest thing is tour. I still have not been on tour yet, and that shit hurts me
Right.
because I was about to go on tour opening
Right.
for someone, and literally the day it got booked, I think 2 days after, it was like South by Southwest got canceled, everything got canceled.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay,
It was
you're
like a
probably not gonna
chain.
go
It
on
was like-
tour until you're like 23.
This is
kinda-
interesting
kinda
because
thing.
all the stuff that's supposed to happen right in the beginning of someone's career, touring, you know, I guess the album, it doesn't really affect the album rollout, does it? Maybe.
I think there was a
slightly.
weird time where I didn't know if I should put out music for. I mean, it was just
Right.
so weird. It was just everything felt so weird. So that's probably the only in terms of rollout, but
Yeah. Like
in terms of writing, it
inspiration-wise.
didn't really change much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I get
Outside
that.
of like being super bored and not having as much to write about and looking out the same window every day and being like, what do I write about?
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, I made like 75 demos that I hate. That's pretty much.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Interesting. Now we're gonna get
I mean,
that.
that's a lot. That's a lot of work. 75 demos. That's
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's boiling into something, but
I mean, art. You know, the face of art will change, and the content of art, and how we get inspired by certain things. You know, I feel you. I went through that too, even during this time. Like, how do you get in a like? How do you feel optimistic and enthusiastic about like fun
Mhm.
music you're making?
yeah.
Right? But people need to turn up too, even at the crib alone.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
well, music is like a release for a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So sometimes even when things are bleak, they need music that doesn't necessarily represent the times. As much as we do need, like, you know, Kendrick and J. Cole to drop stuff, we need
Yeah,
some stuff to take us away.
it's true.
Yeah. So for you, like, how do you feel about touring? Like, are you still optimistic that it'll happen for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic for sure. I think I just need to be patient. I'm learning that for sure. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna do it at some point. I know it's just delayed. Everything's just like in slow mo right now. I feel
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
I feel that. Well, let's talk a little bit about your history. So you're from New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
and it's interesting you said Jessie earlier. Did you know about her before? Because she's from Jersey.
Yeah, I
Shout out to
actually,
Jersey.
yeah, I've definitely been aware of her. Mostly because I have two managers, and one of them I think like used to record her or something
Okay.
in Jersey. So
Interesting.
yeah, which is a weird connection, but
A lot of Jersey
fire.
roots. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're Korean American,
yes, sir.
and Jersey has a big Korean community, right? You're from Jersey.
I'm from Jersey too. Yeah.
Where?
I grew up in Mount Laurel, which is like near Cherry Hill, more like
Okay,
South
like
Jersey.
by Philly. Almost.
Yeah.
Okay,
We don't
cool.
get considered Jersey. We're South Jersey.
Nah, you're Jersey. You're Jersey.
First person to ever
I'm
say
like
that.
same boat, like Central Jersey, middle of nowhere. No
Yeah.
one
Oh,
knows or
what
cares.
town specific?
Manalapan?
Oh wow.
Have you heard of
Yeah.
it? Wait, get out! There's like literally 5 people I've met who know where Manalapan is.
Okay,
But
it's
yeah,
like a
that's where I'm
small
from.
town.
So we're from similar type
Oh,
places.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
super suburbs, like not that much diversity.
Not yeah, I want to say like there wasn't a lot of Koreans by me,
Yeah.
which I think
I
Manalapan
had
is
like
similar,
3
right?
Asian kids in my elementary school.
I
Like,
see.
period.
I see. So you didn't grow up around necessarily a lot of other Koreans.
No.
Okay.
No, I
okay.
mean, I think outside of church was definitely like
Church, of course.
Yeah, Korean church. That's where you get late with the homies
Same, yeah.
every Sunday. But yeah, that's it.
And you were into hip hop since you were super young.
No, not
weren't?
at all. So a lot of people I feel like grow up on music, and I really didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to mostly like Britney Spears and Hilary Duff as a
Right.
kid because my parents would always put that kind of music on in the car, or like Korean songs. Like they literally had, I remember so clearly this one mixtape that they made with just like Korean songs, Britney Spears, Destiny's Child, and they would always play the same shit.
It's
So
like
I,
a Korean Now CD, like Now
yeah,
64.
exactly. Maybe like Billy Ocean suddenly, and that was it.
Were your parents against like the cursing and the the negative language in hip hop and music?
I think more than that, it was like they were just not that aware of it.
Yeah.
Like, they were so busy trying to like support and stuff that we didn't like listen to music that much.
Yeah.
My dad was like super hardworking, and yeah.
So how'd you get into music? How'd you start making music?
So I just sang. Honestly, it's so fucking funny when people say rap artist, because
yeah.
Comic Sans is legitimately the second rap I ever wrote in my
Right,
life. So
right.
it's really interesting to see how that's like kind of shifted. But I'm definitely a singer first and foremost. Like I grew up singing, just always loved it, and sang in school, did choir. My parents were really supportive, did theater for a bit,
Right.
quit because I was like, fuck that. But yeah, and that eventually like channeled into just writing songs in high school, and then I connected with a producer who I still work with today, who's also my manager, and just never stopped writing.
Yeah, because
really.
I think when I found your stuff, it wasn't rap, right? It was like
Nah,
was
yeah.
it Party? Or,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the first joint I heard, and then
Sick.
Souffle was like the first time I was like, oh, okay, she like
Yeah.
dabbles into
That's
rap
when I
too.
felt like it was like Audrey arrived, because I remember songs like Cry,
Tight.
where it was like
Wow.
It was super, like,
you
yo,
just
her early
dropped
music is
Cry on me?
like-
That's a SoundCloud
if you go to her
gem.
SoundCloud and you go to like Stranger
This dude is
Opinions,
okay. First of all,
Cry,
this
Gained
motherfucker
so
is
much-
ahead. He is
so
ahead.
much respect right now.
No, our group
Um,
chat don't fuck around.
wow.
We do our research. Like it's almost creepy, almost.
Whoa.
it's almost creepy.
Like
We have-
you know what kind of toilet paper I use.
Yeah,
You know
yeah. It's
the
like
brand.
it's like 8 grown ass Korean dudes in there, like checking out.
that's really what made me realize that she was more than a rapper or just like you're a normal artist, because she had these songs so early that wow, your voice is so rich.
Thank
From this was like 2 years ago, right?
you. Yeah, 2018.
Like what's the other one?
Wow.
P91 or P190 or I can't
See,
remember.
Oh,
but
Room
there's-
191.
Yes, yes. When I
Fuck.
heard these songs, I knew I was like, wow,
No, we got a Korean Illuminati in our group chat. We're like, she must succeed. She must succeed at all costs.
No,
Protect
you're
Audrey
right.
Nuna.
I
because she
feel
was
that.
writing these songs at 17 or 18, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
they're
yeah.
so deep, and the lyric.
God, should I just
Yes.
step out
No,
and
no,
you
no,
do
no,
the
no.
interview?
Dude,
No, I'm just
thank
kidding.
you. Thank you. That means so much.
No, real
Seriously.
shit
Warms
though.
my heart.
No, real shit. And we always, when we find an artist that's very different, does like something different, is when we really want to support. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
thank
We did
you.
the same shit with Nora Aquafina. Yeah. We like saw her first music video. We're like, who the fuck is this? Like, it's so different.
It was
you know?
my Vaj too, wasn't it?
It was so different.
My Vaj.
My
Never
Vaj. Like it's from
forget.
France and shit. My Vaj. Yes.
Never ever forget. Never forget.
But yeah, we saw your stuff, and we knew it was different because just even like visually, right? And that a lot of that stuff, I always see it coming from the artist themselves.
yeah.
You know, especially so early in your career when you're making your visuals different. It's like as an independent artist,
Yes.
you're kind of always the co-director, the guy, like the person who goes
hair,
over
makeup. That's all you.
hair, makeup, stylist,
Selling
all
your
that.
liver to get like a budget for a video.
Right.
Yeah, I love that shit.
So
much.
you were making music, and when you started doing the visuals, you just kind of started putting your input on your other levels of like creativity and flexing that, right? Like
yeah, I mean, really, to your point, I think it was like in the beginning, well, I love visuals anyway, and I was always gonna be involved. But at that point, even if I wanted to, there really were no other options. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be in charge of doing this. I'm gonna figure out who we're gonna bribe to use their location, like all that stuff. So I think that eventually just grew and evolved into me being able to co-direct stuff and just stay super involved.
Yeah. I feel like I see that kind of spirit of the new age artist now.
Oh, for sure.
You
Very
know what I'm saying?
resourceful, home studios, like someone's a cameraman,
Yeah.
someone's a producer in your crew, someone's an engineer,
Yeah.
and boom, you got a
Exactly.
system, a little ecosystem.
I always wonder, you know, I hate to just keep going back to this, but it's so important to me too, because I don't see a lot of Asian American women, not enough at least in the music industry. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And it's like, even if you look at it in terms of like the machine, right? You would think like early on, I'm talking like 10, 20 years ago, there would have been like a machine that like created the perfect Asian female pop star. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just get
yeah.
like a super like, you know, selling
Super.
selling sex, like, you know what I mean?
Right,
but you
right,
just
right.
didn't see it often, you know?
And now, you know, it's just the reality. Everything comes from a DM. So many relationships, musically or connections, they come from social media now,
Yeah.
and that's a big difference. And I don't know if that makes, if that does has an effect on the
I think it absolutely does. Like, thank God for the internet. I met mostly everyone I work with now through the internet. And the internet's also like democratized everything. I think there's always a lot of Asian American talent. It's just like we don't need someone, like we don't need like a 50-year-old white man from the top to like see it anymore. Like
Yeah.
if we see it, we just do that shit. I think that's what's changed.
Yeah. And what you started in the last year or two, you joined like a management team and got like,
I've actually been with my management since I was like 18.
oh, so like
yeah,
from the jump.
it's from the jump.
That's amazing.
The OGs, yeah.
So they saw vision, and like they saw the vision early.
Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, which is rare actually. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it happens. Like it
does.
It kind of reminds me of like even just you bringing Rich Brian to Sean. Somebody, it takes somebody to kind of just, you know, put you in front of a certain platform.
That's true, but you got to hella believe in a motherfucker for sure, like that early.
Shout
you know what I'm
out
saying?
and more believed.
yeah. I mean, to go off of
Oh,
like
yeah.
whether a one joint or two joints, whatever. Because you know, I've seen so many talented artists that I came up with that I thought was amazingly talented from the jump, but nobody was fucking with them early on. You know what I'm saying? Like for years they would just be overlooked, and then one huge person would put them on, and they blow up, and you're like, damn, they were up for grabs for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
You know, which is like insane
Yeah.
to me. You know what I'm saying? You've seen that shit
I mean,
too.
another case in point, Breezy Lovejoy, aka Anderson .Paak. Like
Yeah,
you've seen it
that's-
early, like a lot of.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Yes.
But yeah, like it. Sometimes
with
it just
us.
kind of takes, you know, an A&R, a manager to bring
That's
an
true.
artist to.
That's
the
true. I
platform.
mean, that's dope. That's dope that's happened.
Yeah, I personally love the way it's happened for me because just like from the ground up building something with people who really believe in you, I just feel like even creatively I've come up that way. Like musically, I'm so used to just like that personal connection is everything. Like if we can't be friends, we're probably not gonna make music, and if we do, it's probably gonna be shitty, you know. So I love that, and I hope to see more of that in the industry because I feel like a lot of it is very much, especially out in LA, it's very like an A&R thinks, oh, you should get into this session with this dope producer, but like a lot of times you don't even talk about like, do you have siblings or what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Like, it's so, hey, nice to meet you. Let's try to bang out a hit. Let's try to do some crazy shit. Let me be a part of this. And I feel like that is something that I hope to see more of, just like human to human connection, even in the business aspect of it, you know?
Yeah. There's even
I'm
less
just all
human
about
connection
that.
now, though. But
I know.
yeah, good luck with that.
I know,
let me
but I
ask
just
you
came up on
both.
that.
How does it feel when you do have that personal connection with somebody in the studio, and it's like, damn, you almost don't want to record a song right away. You just kind of want to chill with that person and vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is your vibe like on that level? What does it take for you to get comfortable enough with somebody to get creative with, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, it's really like, I feel like it's like dating. Like you just kind of, there's creative chemistry or there isn't.
That's a
right?
good
and
analogy,
you can't
yeah.
fucking forge that shit. It
Yeah.
just is there or it's not. That's the first thing. And I think when people actually listening to music is a huge thing for me. Like being able to just sit down and listen and get excited about the same shit in a room. Like I just really believe that energy is the most important thing in a session. So yeah, if we have to just get tacos and talk for the first session and not even touch a keyboard, like that's totally, I'm so with that.
Right.
Yeah. For me, I don't really see it as like, I'm trying not to see it as like a job 9 to 5, or I have to pick up my dog from daycare at 5, so I gotta dip. I just want it to be like we're just living and we happen to make music.
Yeah.
I'm very much more so into that. Yeah.
Yeah, it can get complicated where, you know, in this industry where they just try to pair you up and expect y'all to just rock and make hits.
Yeah. What about you though? How do you like to work? I'm so curious.
I'll be honest, like I was shy for a minute.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm outgoing when I do this kind of shit, but in the studio, like sometimes I'll get shy. You know, and it's a roller coaster for me. You know, sometimes I'll take break from music and I won't feel as confident as I did.
Yeah.
But it's just like a constant. I have to remind myself, like, I do this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you go back to your old shit and you're like, God damn, that shit was hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta remind myself sometimes because as I take on different projects and I kind of lose focus on that craft a little bit, you know. I feel like I might be rusty or something, but you gotta like just kind of remind yourself you've done it and you can do it over and over again.
Word.
And that's how.
What motivates you nowadays? Because back then it was like, damn, you could go to like shows and.
What motivates me? I mean,
yeah, because you're
a young
vet.
artist.
You're
young
a
artist.
Fucking vet. Like we.
Give it
okay,
up for
so
Dump one time.
I saw him at this spot. The first time I met him, I forget what it's called. Blue. Or
Oh
something?
yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time I met him, and literally like 3 people came up like, "Yo, can we get a picture?" It was.
Well,
fire.
to be fair, it's my hood.
It was fire. Yeah, you're an
well, that's
LA
how
girl.
you know you rep it. It really is.
No, I honestly, I get motivated, inspired by younger artists, or like just not even younger artists, but new artists that I find, because. As soon as I find an exciting artist, it's not even just like, oh, I want to support them too. I want to work with them, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to get in with them and stuff. Because those I owe a lot. Like there's a lot of artists that I started off with that, you know, thank me a lot because I, you know, gave them shows and went on tour with me. I put them on interviews and stuff. But to be honest, I'm more thankful to them because I don't think my career would have continued to have that push if I didn't have that boost of like inspiration with this new artist that I worked with. You know what I'm saying? I'm always thankful to them, really. It's funny because people think the opposite is like, oh, you put him on. I'm like, nah, dude, like he kept me going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
how I feel.
Even as a journalist, I feel that same way when I hear someone like Audrey. It keeps me motivated to want to stay in the game as a journalist and be relevant because I'm like, okay, there are artists that, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's hard when you got like little pimp out here. It's hard to stay motivated as somebody. Yeah, as guys, you know, we're about to be.
He's like, it gets my blood flowing again.
Hard.
Blow off the rust.
Like, yo, I grew up on Wu-Tang and Mobb Deep, so it's
Mobb Deep.
Yeah, like it's so refreshing to hear an artist like yourself.
Thank you.
I get that same feeling.
I'm curious, like how you got into music journalism specifically. Like,
I like how it's just interviewing each other now. It's just not even.
It's a conversation.
No, it's great. Just because I was actually on this and I went through it before, but it wasn't that far from your story because I did move to New York for school. I went to Pace.
Nice.
And I wanted to be connected to hip hop in some way, and I had no way to get connected. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna get an internship at the Source magazine.
Ew.
Yeah, and just try to work my way in. But in short, yeah, I just came to New York knowing that like, yo, this is where hip hop happens. I need to be there, and you kind of did that too. You were in the Clive Davis School of Music.
Yeah, I went to school for a year before I dropped out, and that shit was life changing. Like, I grew up, like I said, in a really non-diverse town. Like 3 Asian kids in my school. So going to live in New York City for a year, that was the year like I started dressing however I wanted.
Yeah.
Doing whatever I wanted. Like that year was very formative for me.
No more Britney Spears, bitch.
No more Nah, Britney's fire.
Yeah. Britney's that bitch.
Britney's fire. But yeah. And like I was just listening to whatever. Actually, but hip hop, I will say, entered my life. I remember the day so clear. It was freshman year of high school. I was taking the bus at the ass crack of dawn to school. And I remember just scrolling through Apple Music and seeing the cover of Yeezus. And I literally just listened because I liked the cover and what it looked like. And it had came out a year ago. It was like 2014. And it came out 2013. And I listened to it and it rocked my world because it was just so vulgar and just so not anything I ever listened to before. And I think from that moment is kind of when my, like, musically my world went from like black and white to color.
That's what's up.
I was not expecting to hear Yeezus as
my
the album. Were you
favorite Kanye album? What's your favorite Kanye album?
Actually, Yeezus
Let's
is
go.
up there for me
Dude,
too.
yeah?
And Rex, you know
Me
that's
too.
that's Rex's favorite. Is that your favorite?
That it's like top 2, top 3 Kanye albums
okay.
because it's what you said. It's so different. It doesn't sound like anything. It sounds almost like everyone's like, is it noise or music? But
Yeah.
we know because we're from like that 9 Inch Nails era.
Yeah,
Music
yeah.
was-
Like industrial. Yeah.
Is
But
that your
that's-
favorite too?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
I feel like you're My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
That could be
Your
my
favorite
favorite.
one?
I haven't really thought of like which was my favorite, but that's up there. I would say Yeezus,
I s-
that, and
I still gotta say College Dropout just because I was like
Damn.
at that I was going through that at that
Yeah.
time.
yeah,
feel
that's
that.
what's up, bro. You're going there.
So you didn't
out of
finish
college, so.
You didn't finish Pace.
I did finish.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
God. Yeah.
Cool.
Unfortunately, barely just by the grace of God, I finished college.
So wait, college is on hold for you, or that's what I read somewhere, or
Yeah. like
you
like
don't-
an infinite hold. I
yeah,
think.
like you don't that was the original intended plan to like maybe put it on hold, but now it's like you don't know, you're just gonna go with the flow.
Technically, NYU lets you take a gap year for 2 years, and then you can't come back,
Oh,
or you
shit.
have to start over. So I think I've exceeded my limit. But honestly, maybe I'll go back to school when I'm like 40 and study history or some shit.
Yeah, you're not doing that.
Honestly, no, history's so fascinating to me. If anything, I would study something completely unrelated to music. Like,
Yeah. I
so-
mean, the whole journey is we're constantly studying, right? Like we're constantly learning. So you're in the school of what is it?
School of Hard Knocks.
School of Hard Knocks. That sounded corny as fuck. Wait, what were you studying?
What was I studying? I was studying music industry at the Clive Davis Institute.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay, so this is pretty much the world you wanted to be in.
Yeah, and my parents have been really supportive. I think the only kind of resistance I got was taking a gap year in the first place. I made
Yeah.
a PowerPoint and presented it to my dad. Like,
Wow.
this is how much it would cost for me to take a gap year. This is how much it would
Wow.
cost for me to go to school, and just lined up all the facts and basically was like, bro, I'm saving you money by not going to school. So please let me take a gap year.
Yo, you did the shit that
And-
everyone talks about doing, but nobody really does.
Yeah.
Yo.
It was so
Very
corny.
Asian. Very
Ah,
Asian.
she had a pie
That-
chart.
I had a pie chart.
Damn.
That shit doesn't even make sense. You don't need a pie chart.
76% of rappers choose not to make a PowerPoint
Literally.
presentation and they fail, but I
Exactly.
did. So
No.
And your parents live in Korea, right?
No, my parents live in. So, my mom moved here when she was 7. My dad moved here when he was 18. So, my mom grew up in the Bronx and she lives in Jersey still. My dad, he lives in Myanmar actually. My dad's in clothing manufacturing.
oh, okay.
Which is kind of how I got like interested in fashion at a young age. But yeah,
Wow. Okay.
I was born here.
Yeah, now you're in the rap game, dropped out of college.
Rap game.
Yeah, you're on the right track. That's the rapper trajectory right there.
That's every Korean parent's dream, right? A college dropout, trying to pursue music.
That's good that
But
they
the PowerPoint won, I guess.
Yeah,
She's
they
in.
were. I mean, I didn't even do it like I did the opposite. I dropped out of high school and didn't tell them for about 2 years.
I didn't know you dropped out of high school.
I did, and
That's
they
hard.
didn't know for 2 years that I dropped out.
How do you drop out of high school? What's the procedure? Like, do you fill out a form?
No,
You
you
just not show up?
You just stop going, and then. But my parents, they were straight, broken English. Like anytime the school called, it's like I take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Like get this sign. You know what I'm saying? So it was easy to do that with them.
Yeah.
Thank God, like I didn't fuck up completely bad. But
What would you do instead of going to school?
I was just a huge stoner. I just smoked weed all day.
Nice.
Back then, it's like smoking weed was a whole like process. Like you gather your friends, each put in like $3 to $5. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
I got
not even 5 on it. Like
That's
so,
a
bro, you put
low
3 on
bid.
it, and then but it's like you gather 4 or 5 friends, and your whole day is copping the weed and smoking it. Like literally, you meet at school at 8 in the morning, and then by 3 we finally get the smoke. You know what I'm saying?
There was an art to it.
Yeah.
There was an art and
It wasn't
a rhythm.
as easy.
It was, but it was so fun because it was like a ritual, and I'm sure for you too, it was like rapping and music was a part of that, right? Like getting stoned with your friends and making music.
Yeah, I mean, it was a complete waste of time at this point. I mean, just because if it takes 8 hours for you to smoke a blunt, like, god damn, you're not utilizing your time well.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, that dropping out is worst nightmare for any Asian parents to hear. You know what I'm saying?
What'd they do when they found out that you dropped out?
Honestly, they didn't do much. My parents, we have a different type of Korean family. We are like a broken ass Korean family, but we found peace finally, like at this era in our lives. You know what I mean?
You know what? This is so crazy. I remembered I watched you in a documentary once.
Yeah, Bad Rap.
Bad Rap.
Yeah,
that was really fire. That was a fire
Shout out to
documentary.
J. Cho.
When'd you watch
Salima.
it?
Probably when I was like 17.
That's so crazy to hear.
But you know, I've known of you since forever. Like, I remember when I was like 12, my cousin was living in our basement, and he'd always watch your YouTube videos. And that was my first exposure to you.
That's tight.
He's like, this man is so hard. And I was like,
fuck yeah. One day I will be in the Korean rap Rushmore. And that is all I could hope for.
I mean, no joke. If they ever make like a Asian hip hop Hall of Fame, like you're gonna have a section, buddy. Don't worry about that.
Let me ask you, do you have any, I mean, when you were growing up, there weren't that many, I guess, Asian, what kind, did you look up to any musicians that were particularly Asian?
Particularly Asian.
Asian but not Asian.
I mean, yeah.
We could take this in so many. I'm trying to think.
Because I'm trying to think too for myself.
Yeah,
well, I know Sade what was a big influence.
Yeah,
on
is
your
she
musical
Asian?
career. She isn't.
She is.
Wait. Oh no.
Oh, I was like, honestly, I would believe it. I would believe it.
Asians would have claimed her ass quick.
That would have blew my mind. But honestly, I don't think so. I think my only exposure to Asian celebrities was like K-dramas, K-pop. I was a huge Big Bang fan. I fainted at a concert once.
Really?
So great.
Oh,
yeah.
so you're a big
I was when I was younger I was really into like 21, Big Bang. My church went once and I fainted and then I was able to get to the front row because I thought I was gonna die.
That's tight.
It was really tight.
But too am a big fan of them.
Maybe like Lee Sun-hee, maybe. She's an amazing Korean singer who did a lot of drama OSTs. But no, I really didn't see a lot of Asian faces growing up, I don't think.
It's interesting because you said Souffle was like your second rap song ever?
Comic Sans was the second
Comic
rap
Sans.
I ever wrote, yeah.
It's crazy.
Damn, that's
crazy. I know, because it's bars.
Thank you.
And that's interesting, yeah, because you're on these songs with like spitters, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, for your first song, I'm not saying you don't spit.
Jack
No,
certainly
I'm
rap.
saying,
Jack can
Jack
rap.
is legend.
But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That's like, it's not just like you're hopping on a rap song. It's like you're hopping on a rap song with dude who's like spitting bars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's been doing it. He's been doing it for a while.
How was the transition for you going into like rap, like from singing?
Was it even a transition? It just kind of happened, and it's still
Yeah.
just kind of happening. I feel like.
Yeah, and you were just
in
cool
the
with it.
best
you were like,
way. Like,
yeah.
people always say, like, you just have such an interesting like take on it, and I really think that's because I don't know what I'm doing at all, and I just kind of do what I think sounds good, and I probably am breaking a lot of rules. That's totally fine. Like, I'm okay with that.
That's interesting you say that about breaking rules, because I kind of did that coming into the rap game too, where I broke a lot of rules before learning all the rules.
Exactly.
You know, and the funny thing about that, like, I listened back on the stuff and it sounds so like off a little bit to me, but it sounds like some of the most creative shit I've ever done in my career, you know?
That's tight.
But things sound off to me. Like, everything doesn't sound necessarily right or in the pocket that I feel like it should be. So it's like a give and take, you know what I mean? And I feel like the rules you can kind of just learn on the way.
Or never learn them.
Yeah, never learn them. I feel like the rules I'm talking about are more like just, you know, musicality of things. You know what I'm saying? Where things could sound a little better. But it's just like, I went through that. You know what I mean? And it's exciting. It's fun to me
fun.
that element exists. I mean, what What's the sound of like some of the stuff that you got coming out? Is I feel like you're so genreless with some of the stuff how you kind of came into the game, you know?
Yeah. I would, if I had to describe it, I always aim for like hard R&B, you know, trap elements, butter and cream cheese like together, you know?
Yeah.
I love that.
Like
Butter
just
and
trying
cream
to
cheese
find
together.
this line where I could do both the things I love simultaneously, which is like I love Sade and I love Etta James, and I love Nina Simone, Billie Holiday, Whitney Houston, but I also love Kanye. You know, I love MF Doom, Outkast.
What? Okay. Shit.
You
Now
know,
you're talking
A Tribe
language.
Called Quest, like just everything. Can I just have everything,
Right.
please? That's just where I'm at. in
That's
life.
tight.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes out. We'll see what
That
I
was
poop out.
like a whole salad of
Yeah,
incredible
salad.
artists right there.
I
think
love
That's
food.
really also the beauty of being an artist today. There's no more like boundaries, and there's no more like genres you have to be in. You can make any kind of music, which
No,
is awesome.
100%. What's one thing that you hate about the music industry after being in it for like the last 2 years?
I
now?
know, right? I'm such a fetus. I really am. But I will say, if I could live on a farm in Japan and make an album there and not be in the industry, I probably, in some crazy universe, I know that's not possible, but if it were possible, I would absolutely do that, because I just want to make really good music. I just want to make really the art that I want to make.
Damn, could you imagine?
And I
A farm in Japan, that
Yeah, I'm
good
just not really
into
wagyu
the
grass-fed
politics.
beef running around.
but
just,
instead of like one of these TikTok houses, like have Audrey, Deb Never,
Milking
Mitski,
cows
Rena,
and
just
shit.
in a
Yeah.
creative farmhouse in away somewhere just to make music.
Yeah. To answer your question, I think my least favorite thing is what we spoke about before. Just how a lot of times I've felt that it's not like I want it to just be about the music and the art. And a lot of times I feel like there's just so much bullshit surrounding it. So finding those pockets of like rich, just where creatives are just being creatives, that's where I want to live. in
yeah,
that
but the
space.
best team understands that the most important is the music and the art. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like any successful artist, like that's the root of it all. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And any good team recognizes that. So it feels like you're working, you know what I'm saying, in the studio constantly.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Although I love houses more than studios.
Houses.
Yeah, what about you? Do you like working in people's
Yeah.
houses?
Like
or-
I like just I've done lockout situations for albums. You know, get like a big bear cabin, stay there for like a month and a half. Brought all my equipment, record out of it.
That's so fire.
That was great. We would call homies, like session players come through, guitarists and bass.
That is so
all
fun.
that shit.
That's really how you get like, I hate to say it, but a vibe, because that's really just the only way to
We're
lock
just
in.
straight vibing,
Yeah.
yo.
The good thing is
Vibes.
right now there's not much distraction. There's no
Mhm.
bars or clubs or nothing. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep you in the studio and outside of Cafe Blue. That's it. That's an ongoing joke we have. Like whenever there's like a successful Korean artist, we're like, let's keep them out of Blue at all costs.
Oh my
Protect them at all.
gosh.
Remember that the football player, Young
Oh,
Young
yeah.
Ho. What's the San Diego Chargers? Young Ho
Yeah.
Koo. That was a brand new like a football
He was
player
a
on the
punter.
Chargers. He's a punter. He's a Korean
yeah.
dude. And our boy is a sports writer, and he wrote it in the article. He wrote in the article like he's a promising athlete, and like let's keep him out of Cafe Blue.
Wow, that's
And
fu-
our
that's
boy-
a bar.
Yeah, and our boy at Blue, who's like kind of like a neighborhood gangster dude, he was all like, "Yo, who the fuck is this dude?"
Oh my god.
Oh
that's
my lord, it was
so
just so
funny.
fucking.
So that's the
funny.
spot.
I mean, it's like my spot that you know I
That's a
drank.
spot,
It's
man.
a
That's the
spot. It's
K-Town
a
spot.
It's a spot. I wrote a whole-
Historical K-Town derelict spot.
a lot of Asian celebrities like drink out of there, like comedians, actors, musicians. You know, it's
Yeah.
like the little corner spot. Shout out Cafe.
I mean, it's been there since the 90s, right?
Yeah, it's
Like,
been there since the 90s.
early 90s, maybe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
I like LA K-Town.
Yeah.
I do. It's so much bigger. Like in New York, it's just like 2 blocks.
Right.
So here it really feels like an actual neighborhood.
Right.
You know,
oh,
there's
that's
actually like
just
a
west
Korean.
32nd Street.
Yeah, there's actually like a Korean dentist you can go, Korean hair salon. I
Right.
feel like that's not really New
Yeah.
York. Yeah.
Is this your first time in LA?
This is my probably 4th or 5th time in LA for work. I've been here before just to have fun with my family, but I feel like I haven't really seen LA as an adolescent. Like I've always just inside the studio or inside of a meeting room. So it was nice because I had a day off Sunday, and I just like saw LA for a bit, which was cool.
Yeah. That's dope. I mean, it's an exciting time, I think, for young Asian artists in this country, you know, with like 88 Rising. I know you're extended fam. You've done a lot of work with 88. We just did like a thing with 88 too, like a live performance thing.
How was that? I saw you briefly.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good?
Yeah, it was good. And they're working on a lot of amazing things. And it's like every week they'll play me some like new young Asian kid, like, and I'm like,
where are you finding?
Yeah,
like,
but not even cats.
The internet has opened up,
yeah,
the
cats in like
it's
different parts of the world that got bars in English. You know what I'm saying?
Shout
I'm
out
like,
to Ramen Girl
what
too.
The
she just
fuck,
dropped some fire.
dude? Shit like kind of angers me at the same time. You know, I'm like, God, no, I'm fucking with you. It's like, shit, you young motherfucker got bars. Yeah, but it's amazing. It really is.
They're definitely scattered around. Yeah. Which just goes back to my point. I think they've always been there. It's just like now they can do what they want to do.
Right.
Just put the shit on YouTube and see what happens.
Yeah. What? Why Nuna?
So Nuna means
I know what Nuna means.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just for
wait, let's explain it for the listeners. Let's explain it for the listeners.
Yeah. Nuna means older sister in Korean, but specifically from a brother to an older sister.
Right.
So I have a younger brother, and so I was Audrey for a bit, and everyone was saying it is way too hard to find you on the internet.
Right.
And I think you should add a name. I was so stubborn. I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't
Right.
resonate
Of
with
course.
anything.
It's name.
I legitimately spent 4 months just thinking of second names. I was like Audrey Etta, because I love Etta James,
Yeah,
maybe Audrey James, like all this shit. And then finally I was just eating dinner with my brother, and he called me Audrey Nuna, and he was like, why don't you just use that?
Oh,
and
that's
I was like,
tight.
yeah, because I resonate with that, because he's been calling me that his whole life.
Wow.
Also, it's just like I'm everyone's older sister now.
I like it
kinda
because,
tight.
I mean, to be honest,
Me
even
too.
when I saw it, like, I didn't really think of it as Nuna, the Korean way you address like an older sister.
Yeah.
It just sounds kind of like a name.
It
like
sounds
a last
tight,
name
like,
or
yeah, like,
something, you know?
regardless, it
Yeah,
just
I liked
sounds
how
tight.
it worked for both, and everything else was trash. So I was like, this is the best option, and I kind of just did it.
Definitely a different vibe from Audrey Unni, right?
Yeah.
So it's a
Unni.
completely different vibe
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
Also,
Nuna's
it kind of makes me
different.
forget that you're younger than us. Like during this interview, I have to realize, like, wait a minute, she's not really my Nuna.
She literally like Jedi
wait.
mind tricked us.
Yeah,
where
some-
we're calling her Nuna.
Some
This is
deep
some fucked up shit, like,
psychological
bro.
shit.
How did that happen? We're over
Okay,
here.
so it's working.
It worked. It worked. And you have a very mature old soul, I will say. So
Oh,
it's
I'm
like,
85 years old.
yeah.
inside.
Okay, so you think you have an old soul?
I definitely do.
Yeah.
And my fashion sense is like very inspired by grandpas and like
Oh, you have
Yeah.
that. Yeah. You said something about like futuristic dad swag or something.
futuristic dad,
Yeah.
grandpa. Yeah, I steal a lot of clothes from my dad.
Damn, she's gonna have us bowing to her when she's older. All right, good seeing you. Shit, good seeing you. Fuck, goddamn.
Yeah.
Okay, so when does the next album drop? The first album dropping?
So I think this first project's gonna be a tape, cause I don't feel ready to put out an album yet. I definitely want to just kind of put out, here's stuff I've made from the past 2 years, my favorite stuff. Hello, and I'm thinking like early 2021.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's right around the corner. Shit, it's exciting times.
Yes,
First
we'll see
project.
where the world is at that time, but
yo, I know
definitely.
it's hard just to think about the future with the looming election and just everything happening.
I would say putting out a project it fucks with me because it's this body of work you put so much blood, sweat, and tears into, and once it's out, it's just out, and you just gotta, that's it, and you gotta move on to the next thing and go through that torture, self-torture again. Artistically, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be vulgar, but it just feels like busting that nut. You
I
bust
was gonna
that-
say explosive diarrhea.
Yeah,
You
sorry,
said
yeah.
busting
Same
that
way-
Okay,
nut.
sorry.
You
You know,
maybe I
same
should've-
probably are equivalent, so it's
I'm
all
like,
good.
excuse me, maybe I should have said explosive diarrhea. No. But it just feels like that. You bust that one nut,
Yeah.
and it's kind of.
And then it's
I'm
over.
I'm not saying that's it. People stretch it out, but nowadays it feels like you move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Do you listen to your music after you've dropped it?
I really don't.
I don't either.
That's one thing.
So.
I know a lot of people do. You know, I know homies that are just like put that shit on, like they put their shit on all day.
Pass the aux to a rapper.
I listen to it all constantly when I'm making it, the new mix, and I'll listen to it 1,000 times before that shit's out. But then once it's out, I swear to God, I almost don't listen to it again.
And you've listened to it so much, so you almost don't have to, you know.
Yeah, unless the joints that I gotta perform, I'll listen to it again because I have to. You know, performing a song is different after I record it. Like sometimes just because I recorded it doesn't mean I have it memorized in my memory bank.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'll do the song and then I put it out into the world.
Oh, trust.
Sometimes I'll even forget about it completely.
I've seen many rappers come to genius, like top-notch A-list artists, rappers, and just be like, "Yo, I gotta be my own."
Oh my God!
I'm gonna say some embarrassing shit. I was at a show and I had a song like, you know, I kind of wasn't fully confident, familiar with, so I had to like kind of memorize it backstage before, like an hour before the show, and I was on Genius looking up my own lyrics, bro. That's so embarrassing, bro.
Did you read your annotations?
Nah, but some of the annotation was, I'm like, damn, I appreciate the fans, but y'all are psychopaths. Like, literally, y'all are
you ever read yours on Genius?
I have read mine before, and it blows my mind because, like, exactly what you said, the stuff people come up with, it's like, whoa, I didn't even mean it that way.
Yeah,
but it makes sense.
Nah, for real. Yeah,
music is so fire.
These are your fans, y'all.
Yeah.
These are your fans, y'all.
They make me find out like deep-rooted issues with myself. I'm like, shit, do I have daddy issues because I said this? And
you like questioning your whole identity
because
of a Genius annotation.
One thing I would say about your bars that I do appreciate, I guess this is just more on the rapper side of me, is like your word choices. I really think you got interesting word choices, and that's something I'm just like a complete nerd about. I'm a
logophile.
Yeah. Wait, logophile? I don't know what that is.
What could it be, guys? It's just a word lover.
Yeah, like she
I learned this
read
word.
Dictionaries too, right?
Nah,
as a kid?
yeah, I actually did. It's kind of weird, but I did.
Oh, such a rapper thing to do, just reading dictionaries, sources.
Yeah, but I never grew up being like, oh, I want to be a rapper. I think even now I approach my writing raps like poetry almost.
Yeah.
Like it's all about the words. I want to just pick really rich words.
Yeah.
And like quarantine used to be one of my favorite words, and I wrote that before quarantine became such a common word. It actually blows my mind because it's not my favorite word, one of my favorite words anymore.
Of
it's
course.
actually just triggering.
It's annoying to hear, right?
It's so annoying.
That and like new normal.
That's
another annoying one.
I heard it on your song before we came here. I can't remember what song, but you say it, right? On
quarantine. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So I put that out in November last year. It's been a year.
Wow.
And then quarantine actually happened.
Yeah.
So there's like a comment under the YouTube that's like, she started this shit.
Did you think about like rhymes a lot in particular, or just words that you liked?
I think the rhyme kind of happens naturally more so, but just I base it off the words, and then I try to match everything to the words that I love. Because
I'm a super like rhyme nerd. Like since I was young, I'd be driving down the street or something, and I see like, oh, Applebee's, Daiquiri, Factory. Like I just, you know what I'm saying? I see like a billboard, and I just do that, and then it just happened over the years. It just got worse and worse. I had a roommate at like 18, and we were both battle rappers at the time. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, motherfucker, do the dishes. And he'd be like, your mom's bootylicious. And it'll just go on, I'm superstitious, stupid. Like, it would just be like.
Only speak to each other in rhyme.
Yeah, we would.
Started dreaming in rhyme.
We had this game. We just go back and forth, and we just talk in rhyme all day. And it was just like a complete addiction. I go to parties. I'd be like, I'm going to pull some bitches tonight. And next thing you know, I'm ciphering for 4 hours. And there's scared all the girls away. It's the worst.
That's hard though. That's like a weird addiction to have. That's a cool addiction.
But I was gonna say, as creatives, it's a cool. It is.
He knows it was bad though. We used to mob together looking for girls, and next thing you know, I'm in the corner freestyling for 4 hours. They're like, "Fam, we gotta go, bro." Like,
is that weird to you when dudes are all like, "I got bars too," and they want to like collab with you, and they just come off way aggressive, and you're just like, "Fam, chill."
I haven't gotten like that. I haven't gotten that yet because I haven't been out like social settings. But yeah, I definitely get a lot of DMs like, let me hop on your record or whatever. But I'm not really weirded out by it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of weird too, so.
I mean, this is like an introvert's like dream to be in a situation where it's just like stay inside and don't be social.
That's true. Do you like this right now or what?
I'm definitely an introvert.
Yeah.
So I went crazy. I started having some crazy ass dreams, but for the most part, I did enjoy, you know, kind of taking a break and being home and not like seeing people. It was kind of crazy because like a lot of times when people try to make plans, I'll like sometimes make an excuse, but I literally didn't have to for 4 months.
Yeah.
Like it's just like we're obviously not gonna hang out. So it's great. What about you guys? Are you introverted? I feel like you're a hybrid.
I am a hybrid. I'm
a
hybrid. Yeah, I get shy too. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I need somebody to break the ice for me, and then I go in. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be at a bar, I try to holler at a girl, I'd be like, damn, that girl's so hot, I want to talk to her, but I'm so fucking shy. And I get my boy Rec to step in there and say some dumb shit, and I have to go in there like, excuse my homie right here. Hey, what's your name though? And then I go in.
It's a 1-2 punch.
I was literally gonna say 1-2 punch.
That's so interesting that you said that because, like, you know, before the interview started, you said you guys had only met a couple times, but you know, I've known him for a long time. He's one of my best friends, and that's a great way to describe him. Why did you instantly be like he's a hybrid? I feel like he's a hybrid.
I don't know, just intuition. Because we've had conversations and it's just like you just seem pretty down to earth. Like,
yeah, I'm just a nerd. That's
I don't know.
I think that's what nerds are like. Like Asperger's nerds are like, you know, introvert and extrovert. That's me.
Is this nerd recognized nerd right now?
No, she's actually way more chill and cool. You know what I'm saying? That's what kind of gives off the more like, I guess, old soul vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Soggy vibes, yeah.
Nah,
I'm old.
Nerds are cool, man. Come on.
Nah.
Nerds are cool.
That's
man.
what he's been telling himself since high school.
Nah, they are
here.
though.
We
Like,
made
there's
it, guys.
nothing more. Like, for me, it's so great when someone's just into shit. Like, you know, when you just learn everything about. That's so fire.
That's I just love collecting. I like old shit too. I like collecting old stuff. I like, you know, little toys and zines and all
wait,
that
who
shit.
are these people? You just hook. Oh my god, I love that man.
So you know,
that man does not age. It's
weren't
scary.
you in like a Korean commercial back in the day when you were a kid, or
How do you know this
some
shit?
audition?
Jesus
He's
Christ.
He's like, don't you have a type of blood? And
yeah. Wait, what is your blood type?
Oh, what are you?
She has a
I'm
tiny
AB.
bit of
Ooh.
Korean experience,
Yeah.
Korean industry
Interesting.
experience.
Yeah, I'm Korean for sure. Like my mom, like would always put on reality shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's fire.
Wait, what is this Korean commercial?
What is this Korean? Yeah, the
you
Bank of America commercial.
Something. I think you were in one when you were.
Yeah, when I was
could've
12,
made-
I was in a commercial where I went into the audition and they wanted my mom to come in for some reason, and she ended up getting the bigger part than I did.
Yeah.
And we're in a
That's
dentist's
funny.
office, and she was so nervous that day. They're like, "Someone get the mom water." It was.
Wait,
But
were
that's
you
not
like
what you're
a
talking about.
child actor or what?
Not a child actor, but I definitely went on a lot of auditions and just.
That's so
failed
funny.
a
I was
bunch.
I was in a couple commercials when I was like 12 too. I was in a
Can we
PlayStation
see
1
them,
commercial.
Please, at some point, I need to see this.
I had to do some
I'll show you
research.
mine if you show me yours.
All right, I'll see. I'll see if I could dig it up in the archive. My shit might be in black and white and shit.
Oh my god.
But yo, Audrey Nuna.
No, she's on Nuna now. Like,
We
we
can't even
you're-
escape it. I kind of like the little flip on the name because you got the world just calling you Nuna now, which is tight. We wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
It
both
was
of you.
it was really cool chilling with you in LA because we were fans through the internet and just kind of in our Illuminati group chat we were like, protect Audrey at all costs.
Facts.
I feel that energy. For
Yeah,
sure.
it is kind of
I
great.
appreciate it.
We dead ass did share tons of stuff. This fool knows way more than I thought. You
Just doing my job. You can
Well-
find me at Genius.
Yeah, but everybody look out for Audrey Nuna's projects. Tons of YouTube videos right now you can go search up, and trust me, each one is different from each other. I really urge you guys to go check out the music
And hit the SoundCloud. Her SoundCloud, it might, I don't know, she might take the songs down at some point, but there's
Nah, I love the
incredible
SoundCloud.
songs
I'm
that
never
are,
taking
yes.
that shit
Okay,
down.
great. They're
Never.
like vibey. Like, you gotta hear some of this
Yeah,
stuff.
Audrey, Audrey Nuna, Nuna on all social media. Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you guys so
Woo,
much.
thank you.
Tune in next
Peace.
week for another episode of Fun with Dumb.